In trap number 3, we talked about the danger of focusing on your credit score instead of fixing your debt. But even if you understand that, there's an even bigger danger: doing nothing at all. Avoidance might feel safe in the moment, but it is the fastest way to make a bad situation worse. Bill calls trap number 4 the biggest trap of them all, because the longer you wait to act, the more banks win. So Bill, you call trap number 4 avoidance. What does that mean, and how common is it for people in debt?
Well, it's very common, because when you're overwhelmed with debt, you think it's a temporary situation, or you hope it goes away. Even when you realize that you've racked up more debt than you can handle, you may not still take action, either because you fear what could happen to you, what could happen to your family. Usually it's because you don't know how to get out of it.
And if someone is actively ignoring their debt, what happens over time?
As you know, and pointed out, the debt doesn't go away, but worse, it gets larger. First, as we discussed in trap number 2, you're paying interest on principal and interest. So if you're not paying down that principal, that interest goes higher, and now you're paying interest on interest, so the debt gets larger. If you miss a payment, then they can charge you default interest. If you're late on a payment, they charge you a late fee. So this number gets larger and larger, and also it impacts your credit score. If you're late, missing payments, your debt goes higher. And when your credit score goes down, your options become limited.
And you mentioned fees, so you're paying interest month after month that's piling up, but now you also have penalties and fees piling up as well.
Exactly. So the problem gets worse by not taking action. So while it's not fun to tackle your debt, the sooner you figure out, how do I get out, what's the right path, you're better off.
What do you suppose is at play here when someone actively avoids taking care of their credit card situation? Is there something happening psychologically, do you think, or is it just not wanting to deal with the bad news?
Well, it's not wanting to deal with the bad news, but it's fear of the consequences. And then also, I think it's also not knowing what to do. And that's in part why I created Legal Edge Debt Solutions.
So Bill, how can Legal Edge help people get out of this trap?
A couple of different ways. First, we provide objective, clear information on each of the 4 debt relief options, explain the pros and cons, and then we provide an assessment, which is critical to help you figure out which option works best for you. The assessment is free, easy, and confidential, and at the end it'll tell you which debt relief option works best for you, and then the website also identifies trusted resources for you to implement that option.
Take us through this assessment. What exactly are you trying to learn from these folks?
It's about 19 questions. Again, confidential, free, simple. It's trying to determine what their financial situation is, but also their financial goals. And by knowing basic financial information and your goals, we could say which of those 4 options, whether it's Chapter 7 bankruptcy, debt settlement, loan consolidation, credit counseling, which one works best for you.
So your message is, don't wait, pick a plan, pick a path forward, and act today.
Exactly. The sooner you act, the better off you're going to be, not just financially, but the peace of mind and knowing that you're getting the problem solved.